Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Tennis Manager. This is episode 13, and we are in a juniors 300 level tournament. Of course, previously, after the rebalancing, we find ourselves not the dominant force that we were before. Top 10 in the juniors has been a problem. I think we are now somewhere between about 11th and 20th in terms of quality, maybe right around 10th place. Does that mean we're good enough to beat this opponent? It's the quarterfinals of this tournament after we did comfortably get through the first two. The opponent, 17th ranked player, 19th actually in the newest rankings, just 16 years of age. This looks like a slightly easier match, so let's go ahead and simulate this one and see if we do continue on, and we do 6-1, 6-4, plenty of winners to force our will upon the match and get into the semis. Here's where things got tough. 3 top players showed up to this tournament, and all 3 make the semis, and unfortunately our path is through each of the other 2 top players. Jabo, who's been really good lately, is right on our heels now with the 3rd ranking, on the verge of overtaking us for that 2nd spot in the rankings. This is probably a step too far, and then Nakunye is in the final. So difficult to ask for the next 2 potential matches here. We are looking at balance though, so it is, it's close enough. 2-1 all time, but that really doesn't mean anything after the balancing.
First set.
Both players at identical fitness levels entering this match. We are determined. She's enthusiastic. And we are receiving on this first set.
Love 15.
First point is ours, but that's just one. Let's go ahead and speed things up for a little while. Back and forth in the first game, but ultimately it goes to Jabo. We'll need to hold serve here, otherwise we'll lose some momentum. But we do, and it's a game apiece. Looking like we're going to go down again. We do. It's now 2-3. If we get this one, we'll be at the halfway point of the first set level at 3 games apiece. Both players holding serve continuously. And we're starting to look to be in a little bit of trouble here. We get deuce. They have advantage. We get deuce again. They have advantage, and then finally break. So now that we've been broken, things are a little worrying, as this is now set point.
Game and first set. Second set.
And like I said, that 10 to 20 range seems like we're still good enough to beat anyone there. Somewhere between 5 and 10, things get too hard. Or maybe 10 to 13. So somewhere between 5 and 13 is where we now stand. But of course, every match is different. Every match can go a different way. Second set here, we're up 3 games to love. If we can break again, you figure we'll take the second set and stretch this thing into a 3rd set. We don't. It's 3-1 now. But as long as we don't give up 2 momentum and win this game, 40-15, and we do 4-1, yeah, this second set is looking fairly good at the moment. Again, pushing to break, 40-30. And we do, 5-1. I think we are going to claim this second set, stretch it to 3, and we still have a chance. It's a good thing we had built up a bit of an advantage here this second set, as she's won 2 or 3 straight games. But now at 40-15, it is set point. That's in, 40-30.
Second service.
Got her.
Game and second
Okay,
game.
we get the set in the end. Set apiece. On to the 3rd one. We are a little bit better off physically right now. We are not quite as fatigued. Very similar, though, for the 2 players heading into the decisive 3rd set. After claiming the first 2 games, we are on the front foot at the moment. The fatigue part a factor. Up 3 games love here in the third set. Looking extremely good. Chance to break again. And we do. It's 4 games to the good here in the third set. And now we've really got to be liking our chances of actually qualifying for the final. Okay, this is the one where it needs to happen. 30-15, 40-15. Match point. There it is. Got it. Game, set, match. Into the final. Surprising, but there we are. Nagunye was seen as a tough match not that long ago for us. We had beaten her every time, but that point's irrelevant. Nagunye, 17, and we've caught up to her a bit. Balance, I still think she's going to be at the higher end compared to us. So it's going to be a difficult match, but not as difficult as it would have been this time a year ago. We just happen to win those because of the balancing.
First set.
Final underway. First serve's a good one. We begin with service this time around. Good point there. Thought we had her if we pulled back to the left, but we went to the right. And we do get it eventually, though. 15 love. First point's ours. Just 87 miles an hour on the serve. Not hitting the ball very hard. And that's one thing we've seen with the balancing, too, because we were showing up in the low 90s before, despite having really poor service. Our serve is a lot more powerful than it was when I remember looking at it being in the low 90s, and now we're hitting 87, 81. So, yes, again, with that balancing, that adjustment, the impact of your attributes is more pronounced now. That one's out, but it's still 40-15. First game looks good, and we win it. Speed things up for a few games anyway. First tight contest, chance to break, and Nagunye does. So we trail by a game now. And now trail by 2 as she keeps serve. Regaining a little momentum, it's 2-3. But with her service, she quickly went up 30 love. We battle back. She still gets the game, 4-2. Definitely playing from behind. Okay, fitness levels. We are a little bit better than she is right now in terms of the stamina. She is troubled where we are confident. And we break and draw level. It's 4-4. Battling back after getting down, but we need to take this game. And we trail 15-40. Get that one, 30-40. Nice. Good serve. Nagunye gets a good return on it. That looked like it was going wide, but maybe had enough spin on it to keep it in play. And we lose the game. That was the game we needed. That was the game we needed. We're going to lose this first set, and it's going to be because of that game. Set point. Good serve. Long. First set's a loss.
Second set.
Into the second set. Now we're anxious, so now we don't have the confidence boost that we had, but we do win the first game. Fitness is still a little bit better than hers, but neither one is terribly tired. Down love 30 with service. Battle back. Lose the game, though. We break. Kind of the same stage we did in the first set. We eventually broke her once, but then she broke us twice. Decisive game here. Must win. We do. Now it's 2-3. Can we break her to get level at 3? No. No. 15-30. 15-40. We do not. Okay, here's another one of those must-win situations. Down 2 games with service. Have to get this one to have a chance. 40-30. Deuce. Advantage. Back to deuce. Again, advantage. Okay, we got that. 4-3. Now, that break has to come. That break has to come soon, but we're trailing 15-40 here in this one, and that's going to go long. And we're down 3 games to 5 now. with service. Obviously must win, otherwise the match is literally over. 40-30. Deuce. Advantage. And we do get it, but trailing 4-5. We're close. We are close. But Nguyen is... looks like she's going to win this thing. Set point. Match point.
Out.
That one's out. She barely gets the edge of the racket onto that one, and it slices high and wide. That's a good one, and that's game. 4-6, 4-6. We're giving her a contest, but the better player won. I like that we're close enough that the number one junior player is in our sights. We're not far away from her level, but we're not quite at her level. So yes, we were ranked number one. Yes, we won the title for the juniors last year. This is a different year. And if we can climb our way into that top 10 consistently, play around 6 to 10, I'd be happy with that at the end of this season as we continue to grow and develop. Still very young. That would be a pretty realistic place to be for a high potential young player. Small World Tour event. Number one seed, but again, not sure if that's the right place for us. But we're looking at a 3 seed that's just inside the top 400, 2 seed also just inside the top 400, a 5 seed at 434, 4 is at 406. So we've got a little bit better list of opponents than the last tournament that we claimed victory in. Second round against a 5-12 could give us some difficulties, but we're going to have at least a few easy matches here. Low ranked first round opponent, tight contest, but we won. Second round against a much higher ranked opponent, just outside of the top 500, and then we blow her away 6-0, 6-1. The closer contest continues 6-3, 7-5 in this one, and we continue on. 38 winners here, 12 unforced errors. My big goal now, short term, is we've developed physically, we've developed mentally to the point where we're not great, but we're good. We're trying to bring the technical stuff along, at least some of it. And what I want to bring along short term is accuracy across the board, all types of hits. I want to be accurate with our forehand, our backhand. I want to have a good return, and I want to have good accuracy on our serve. We don't need to hit the ball hard. We don't need to hit the ball in any fantastic sort of special way. We just want to hit it clean. And then with good reactions, smart play, physically capable of getting from place to place, you're going to be hard to beat from anyone. You're going to get back and forth, move, and reach each ball. And have the ability to hit it accurately where you want to go, which is back and forth, and make your opponent run. And if they have weaknesses, if they have shortcomings in their physical, in their mental, in their accuracy, you're eventually going to get winners, and you're going to do it without hitting very many unforced errors. And that is why we start with those groups of attributes. Already into the semifinals in this one, just now into the top 500 for an opponent. You're looking at similar for the other semifinal with 501 and 434. Balanced is the match. High serve intensity. Okay, we're good to go. We've never played this player before. She's 31. Took us 3 sets, but we do come out on top. 3-6, 6-3, 6-4. A while back, I was saying that I figured 400 to 500 is now where we're at. I think I'm ready to start shifting that up as we've continued to grow and develop a little bit more over the last 3 to 4 months, but only by a small margin. Where it was 400 to 500, now maybe it's like 400 to 475. I mean, we're just talking about a small shift, which means I should be good enough to win this tournament, but certainly not guaranteed to. You can see how close this was. It's the unseeded opponent. 501 is her ranking, very similar to what we had elsewhere.
First set.
We are stressed, but we are physically fit for this final. The opponent a bit more tired than we are, though she is enthusiastic. We are dealing with some mental issues at the moment that are starting to arise. The issue being that we have been losing a lot compared to before. And those extra losses are now taking the long-term toll of having poor form. we're getting through early rounds, but we're losing in the later rounds when the opposition gets a little bit tougher, even when they're balanced, or at least more frequently than before. So we are being impacted. Right now it's 2-1 though, as we are on the receiving end of this fourth game of the first set, and we're level at 2 games apiece. With serve, we lose the first couple points, but we battle back. Deuce, advantage, back to deuce. Back and forth for this game. This could be a very important game for the set. Finally, we do come away with the victory on that one. It's 3-2. She fairly quickly takes control of that next. Service has been a bit of an advantage today. Trailing now. We were broken. And we're in trouble. 3-5. 40-15, battling back. Need to break here, obviously. And we do. Without even giving up a point. 5-all. This thing's going to go the distance. We have service here. We've built up a little momentum. 40-30. We win the game. 6-5. 40 love here. And it's set point. Oh. Come on. Oh.
15-40.
Boy, that wasn't much of a winner. We should have been able to reach that ball. Not sure why we didn't anticipate or be able to move to that. We go from a very dominant position to now it's 40-30. Wow. That ball looked nowhere near the line. That's well out. And we are suddenly in trouble. We go from 40 love to losing the game without scoring another point. Meanwhile, one of those balls, I probably would have been arguing with the referee on that one because it looked well out. And now in the tiebreaker, the trend that suddenly emerged of us not scoring at all continued a little bit longer, but now at 1-1 after a double fault is the only way we've scored anytime recently. We now buck the trend and go 2-1, 3-1. Nice winner on that one.
Second set.
I think she was definitely anticipating us going left when we went right. Now 4-1. The upper hand, just long, just wide. 5-1. That's in. 5-2. Well wide. That's in. We're in play. Rally going. 5-2. That's going to go in. Hangs up there a while. Gives us the upper hand. And we get the winner. Away. 6-2. Set point. There's the winner. There's the set. Come away comfortably in the tiebreaker in the end. But here's that thing, right? We're really being pushed to the edge by a player right around 500 in the rankings. We, in the semifinals, had a close win against somebody right around 500 in the rankings. So you can see how we are above that, but barely.
Second set.
Second set. Now, still stressed, but a lot more physically fit than the opponent. She is halfway drained. You should see that orange bar emerging out of my face cam here shortly, but also we've made her anxious. So even though it's 1-1 here in the second set, we are looking fairly good as a couple of things are starting to go our way. Losing that game did not do us any favors, though, as we're going to have to play from behind here in this second set. Chance to break. Advantage. No. Oh, that would have been a pretty important one because you get right back in it, but now we trail 4-1. This might go 3 sets. With service, we were well behind. We do finally get to advantage, and we do finally win another game, but we trail 2-4 here in this second set. Okay, now the fatigue really starting to set in. Not only do we appear to be a bit better off, but when you really start looking at the text, because that's kind of your comparison, stressed is a longer word than anxious in terms of the space that it's occupying. and we lose the set. But we are going to push on to 3. We are pumped. She's confident. Both have recovered a little bit, but we're definitely a notch above. And hopefully that'll set in as, yeah, there's poor accuracy on that one. It was not a hard ball for her to return to us, and yet she hit the net. 40 love. Chance to get the first game. That goes long, and we do get game number 1. We're going to need to break here at some point, though. But at 40-15, we break right away and get a great start to the third set. 2 love. 30-15, 40-15. 3. Up 3 games early in this third set. The fitness, a factor. The mental state, a factor. 4 love. 2 games away. 40-15. She battles back, though. We do have advantage. Back to deuce. Advantage, deuce again. Trailing for the first time, and that's enough. She wins the game. So we keep getting advantage, and then she recovers, and then we can't put it away, and then ultimately she does. Here we go again. Advantage. Advantage again. A third time. This time we break, and it's 5-1. A game away. With service, but trailing. Deuce, advantage, match point. She's crazy tired, but we're starting to get pretty tired. Stamina being a real factor here of late. Seen it in multiple matches, and there it is. We got the winner, and we're dancing. We're dancing. Okay. All right. Small tournament, but a small tournament victory. And actually, it's the second largest victory we've had at the women's tour level. We've had 2 wins fairly recently, and they are our second and third best wins. Now, we've had a junior tournament that we won a Grand Slam, of course, plus the junior finals, right? But that was all we had last year, so we actually didn't win everything. We won a lot of smaller junior tournaments along that way consistently, but not everything. There were some losses along the way. But here we are now, just getting the occasional win, which feels good. One thing that I noticed in between last episode and this episode is we had some business center upgrades, which of course we've been focused on because it's the income side, which makes all the other upgrades easier. Start with the income, and then life gets easy long term. Anyway, those upgrades we've made now complete. We only have 3 upgrades left on the business center, and for the first time, we see ourselves on the list of top academies. Top 3 academies in terms of business center only. We're second. IMG, the only one better than us. We have made it onto that list. So, continuing the trend, why wouldn't I? We've got some work to do to finish the business center off. Just 3 upgrades realistically. And the first one, the restaurant, has got the best return. $79,000 for less in cost. Yes, it's going to take 4 months. Yes, it's going to double our monthly expenses, but we're talking about a fairly significant upgrade in terms of long-term revenue. So we're on with that. 4 months till it's done. Still have a decent amount of cash left. We could get the recreational pool. That'll be the last one we bother with because it's not a good return for the investment at all, but it's about getting it complete. But first, we want to actually earn a little money with the store. Latest update on our progress, you can see that we have gained technically in terms of the line graph. We can see that's climbing a bit faster now, and that's because we're finally giving it some attention, though it's still well behind our other categories. But this week, forehand power, drop shot, hot shots, the last one in red, all went up a level. Stamina also reaching level 11. You can see balance is on the verge of leveling up. Speed just went up. We're at 14s now on everything in the physical side. Mentals are all at 15 besides positioning now. Returning, continuing to climb up. Backhand power, making good gains. And at the moment, what I'm focusing on with levels 12 for both forehand and backhand accuracy, though obviously I want to get those to 13 in the near future, is the one that's furthest behind. of my 4 key technical attributes is serve accuracy at just 9. It was an 8 a little bit ago. It's gaining fairly quickly, being single digits, and it'll start to slow down, but we'll at least get that up to a level 10 before we focus on the others a little bit. And return, sitting at 13 for quite a while, we will give that a little bit of attention just because I'd like to see that be as high as possible without doing much. If it's going to naturally get itself close to a level up, I'll probably take advantage of that and finish it off here at some stage. So with only one very low level scout, scouting has not given us much in return. And so far we've only completed 6 evaluations. We have 3 ongoing evaluations, and it's just taking, well, rather a long time. We're looking for young prospects that have a bit of potential. Right now, realistically, the only thing we've found is this Coco Marand, who 2 to 3 and standard, not looking like somebody we really want to sign. It is dynamic, it can change, but you can see just how low the player is. And this 15-year-old, I mean, this is where we should be, and we're much, much better than this. And so there's a reason why we're not playing at the lowest level, but there's also a reason why we haven't signed anybody else besides Uni at this stage. We'll get there eventually, but with one scout, it's just hard. It's hard to find quality without being sneaky, and I might have to get sneaky here soon. I do have just a handful of the youngest American players as we've got the American team. So once we get done scouting this set, I'm probably going to just move on. Like, Ivajovic is actually one of those good candidates, but she's already signed up with IMG. Would be hard to take her away. But anyway, once we're done with that set, I am probably just going to get a little bit sneaky and go along the lines of, like, say, junior girls and scout Nagunye and Jabo and Lackey and Gibson and, go after the best ones available. That seems a good way for Vertova to find a good young prospect, especially younger ones, 15, 16 years of age. Those are the ones that I'd like to get after, because if they're already fairly talented and that young, there's a good chance that they are developing early and that they have higher potential if they're already that good. All right, folks, that is going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.